Welcome home. Here, pain turns into wisdom. Here, questions turn into clarity. And here, women turn words into change. We are excited to have you here every Fridays at 3 p.m. So, get comfortable. The journey is about to start.
When we say we are women, we mean that we are brave, we are strong, we are capable, we are unique, we are woman to woman.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Toko.
Good afternoon, Marcia, and good afternoon to our viewers.
You might be wondering what we're doing standing here. Yes, we have a show prepared for you. But today, we have the second round of the debate. That was quite interesting last month, isn't that?
Very interesting, and I think the one of today is more interesting.
To start with, we have 2 comments out of many that we would like to share with you. Toko, would you care to start, please?
My first comment, it's from a man, actually.
Oh!
Yeah, from a man. The guy is called Sidiso Mufokeng. I was passing by, and the topic is really interesting. Child or career. This does really reflect that we need to support women also reach their goals and dreams. Men sometimes take so much with disregard of their wives' goals. Sometimes you need to ask her, what would you like to achieve? And back her up. They are mostly on the back foot supporting our dreams as men.
So welcome to the house, guys out there, because today it's promising to be very interesting. The second comment we wanted to share, it's from Marcella Motirapi. As much as we want to support single mothers, fact remains that a child needs both parents, cause a mother's way of raising a child is always lenient, sweeping the bad behavior of the child under a rug, as opposed as to the father's way of raising with more disciplined and to instill responsibility. In a nutshell, both parents are vital for a child's upbringing. You might have agreed, you might have not. Just to give you a sense of our last debate, how heated it was, you're going to receive a little bit of what happened in that Friday afternoon.
Yeah. So the first question is the rise in single, child-free women a sign of progress or a symptom of societal breakdown?
So my opinion on this, it's both sides. So meaning that we have 2 groups of women. Women who have faced traumas, women who have went through a lot. So meaning that their decisions on how they want to live their lives, it will be based on what they have went through.
For me, I think it's progress.
What the sad thing that I've realized is that when people get to 40, 45, desperation kicks in. And then it becomes a problem because you end up choosing whoever. You end up settling now. It's no longer a matter of saying, okay, I'm choosing, I want Mr. Right.
You can have the car, the money, the apartment and everything else. But what's the point of you coming back home to an empty apartment? Now, where's the joy in that?
Women have equaled themselves to men in which criteria exactly? Meaning, is that in general or in a specific area?
And you know what? Today is promising. They still did not see our contenders for today.
Yes.
So let us introduce to you our 6 contenders. Welcome to Woman. On your left-hand side,
yes,
for you at home looking at these beautiful ladies, we have Nomti, Impo, and Kelly.
Yes.
They are more conservatives. Then we have this side here. Caroline Pindili and Camo, who say they are positive feminists, as if there is something like this we're going to learn about today, isn't that, Toko?
I think they made it up.
Oh, there are so many things they will have to make up today for. Anyway, our work today is very simple, Toko.
Yes.
I even forgot our popcorn buckets because I should have brought it and enjoy ourselves and let them
sit back
debate.
and watch them speak. Yes.
Ne? Let them debate. Are you ready, guys, at home? Because we are going to start shaking the structure of the studio.
Yes.
Toko, first question is on you.
All right. The first question is, do men still go for submissive women or those who voice their opinions?
Wow. I think men who go for submissive women today simply have their own insecurities to cover up. Because if you have a tough woman or a person who is very assertive, you don't actually have to make them submit to you or make them answer to you. So you literally just let them be who they are, let them be strong by your side, and just continue with that. Because if they're submissive, then you just think they are lower than you, one way or the other.
So you can't be strong and submissive at the same time? Does submissive mean you're not a strong person?
What's wrong with being an equal? Why do I need to submit? Because here's the thing, if we can balance what we want, if we can balance the things that we agree on, the same goals that we have, then no one has to be lower than the other one. It can be a partnership. Instead of this one is an authority, this one is a submissive. Do we have to do that?
But then where do you distinguish? Because if there's two people thinking, like, it can happen that you guys have two different mentalities. Now it happens, who do you listen to? The man or the woman?
But that's the nice thing about being a strong woman, because at the end of the day, then the man would understand that, okay, fine, this woman that I have, she has an opinion towards everything. And it makes it even very nicer, because now you know that, okay, fine, my woman is that woman that is very strong, as to compared to somebody who will say yes to everything. Imagine you having to say yes, today I want to eat rice, yes. You don't want it at the end of the day, because now your man wants to say that. And at that point, you don't want that. And remember, like us as women, we've got it's like we go through in a month, we become different people. So imagine right now, if now I have to be submissive woman, and yet at the end of the day, that point, I don't want to be that person, but I have to do it for the sake of now having to please my man. Then that is not fair on my end as a woman.
But you're showing submissive as if you're a slave. You're not a slave. Submissive means you are distinguishing, okay, who is literally the head of the house. Unless, okay, in your case, it's something else, but we're trying to say that there's someone who is leading me, right? And I see that as the man. The man, in my point of view, he's the one leading me. Submissive doesn't mean I'm a slave, where I have to do everything he tells me to do. No, it's more on, what is your suggestion? What is your guidance? Where can you lead us to go? Submission is not really slavery, where you have to do everything, or basically you don't have a right. It doesn't mean you don't have a right.
Or a voice to speak.
Yes.
Yes, because being submissive, it means it's also, in a way, it's a form of being humble, because you are listening to what the person is saying. But then when you're saying that you feel that you need to be an equal to that person, you end up not even listening to what he has to say, because if you say, no, I can't take what he's saying because of I'm an independent woman, or I can't do this.
Not really. No, it just means we get to listen to each other equally. If I am right, he has to actually admit that I am right. If he's right, I will admit he is right.
Yes, I can be submissive, but then I can still voice out my opinion and say, okay, this is how we supposed to be doing, and then be able to be in agreement together. Yes. And then saying that, okay, this is what happened, this is the situation, but okay, this might have not been like this, or it might have been like this. being together, but still being submissive, not being to the point that, okay, I have to be in control or because I have to speak and then I have to be heard all the time.
But the fact of the matter is that his say is always going to be that say.
Yes,
Yet,
the
if ever
authority.
right now we are equal, then meaning that I get to say whatever that I have to say, he has to say whatever that he has to say, we are agreeing to that.
Can I step in?
Yes,
I was
Mrs.
holding
M.
myself.
Would love to.
Can I step in? First of all, you girls did not answer the question. We're still going to give you another chance, okay? But what I wanted to step in is, I like reality, right? Instead of thinking about I'm equal and all that, let us go to practical. What will happen when you disagree? Because, you know, married for 34, married for
28.
and we don't always agree. What's going to happen when it comes
when
that
you
moment?
disagree.
I say right, he says left. How do you guys plan to solve the situation?
There will be no order in the house. There will always fight, no order, disrespectful. That is why, like, when it goes back to that submissive, that shows, doesn't mean that you are weak. It's just putting other things in the house and respect.
In the house.
Or we can agree to disagree.
But for instance, even agreeing to disagree, there is a decision to be made. So, in practical terms, one must win.
Yes.
Needs to submit.
I tell you,
Exactly.
let us travel, and you tell me, no, we are going to stay home December. And we have that challenge for 15 days, and the holidays are coming. Now one must win. What are we going to do?
So if I may give you a practical example, if one wants to travel end of the year and the other one doesn't, you have to find common ground. So it's more like, okay, if we have 15 days of leave, for example, we can take half travel, take the other half stay at home. Or we decide, okay, this year we both traveling and we're going to this place, and then next year we're all staying at home. It's something that you guys discuss and you come up to a common ground. It's not just that because now one wants this, one wants that, you cannot do either of them. Either do both or do none. You just have to come.
But now, let me just chip in. What if it's your husband saying that, like, you want to travel, and your husband says, no, I don't want you to travel this time? What would you say? Would you submit, or you would just say, no, we are equal, so I'm going to travel?
Agasal.
Oh, he must remain. And then when you come back, it's fight. Because she's saying he must remain.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is this marriage?
It's yes.
Is this marriage all about?
But if you, what's the reason why you want to stay? Because I have a reason why I want to travel. So us having to understand each other from that point of view, I want to travel because, I want to stay because, then it helps us understand why the one wants to do the other.
So do you agree at the end of the day there must be one decision?
One decision.
And if you don't agree?
A decision that benefits both. It doesn't have to benefit one, but both.
And if you don't agree?
Benefits one.
Obviously. No, but it does not necessarily
Or maybe
mean that
he's
it's
the
from
one
the
that has to
guy's side.
Okay, let me go back to the question again.
Because I think we're discussing submission and not the question.
Do men still go for submissive women or those who voice their opinions?
Submissive women.
No, they go for women.
They go for women who have a voice.
They've got
Who
the
says
voice.
submission? Of course. And then,
Now, we
Yes.
wanted to invite the guys
Yes.
who are watching here
please.
to comment because they are speaking on your behalf. It would be very fair if you would post your answer here, right?
Yes, that would be nice.
Ready for the second question?
Yes, please.
Do I have 6 single ladies here? Yes. So, how do you respond to questions from the family when asked, when are you getting married? Especially from the elderly.
Every time I go to my grandmother's house, I get that question.
And then?
It's not time yet. I haven't found the person that understands me.
Does she accept it?
She kind of has no choice.
I think with time, there's like advancement these days because in the modern times, with experience, my family doesn't really expect me to be married right now. They expect me to get my education. And also, they're also expecting of me to be opened, to have that kind of mentality that, okay, when you get your education, you know, you're going to get to the relationship phase. So I think it's just times they have changed from the traditional times. So, yeah.
I think with myself it's half-half. With my dad, it's a no. He doesn't even bring it up. But with sisters and my mother, they do bring it up to say, when are we even seeing someone? So, but I do answer them and say, no, it's not the time yet. So they should not pressure me to get into anything. But even if they do, I won't go that road just because they are saying so. So no pressure.
Well, I think on my end, I remember with my auntie when she just sent me a WhatsApp and she's like, we are praying for you so that you can get married. And I replied and I just laughed and I'm like, not now, because at the end of the day, I want to get married to the right person. And I don't want to be in a position whereby if ever I get married, and like the nice part of my family is that they're very understanding towards certain things. They'll not force you to get married today because everybody's doing it. And I'm like, no, I want to get married to the right person. Looking at the GPV, I don't want to be part of the stats. So wait for me. The right person, I would gladly tell you when he's the right one. So yeah.
Yeah, and in fact with me, because I divorced, I was married. And then now, my daughter, she's older, it's a first year at varsity now. And she was like, Mama, it's been so long now. You should get one. I'm like...
It's not the elderly, it's the youngsters.
And then my son is like, I'm the man of this house.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a bit like, but most of my family, they're like, no, it's been long, being single. We're looking forward for you to get married.
But there is one thing that we agree here with all of them. And I think in this point, we come as a win.
Yes.
You have to wait for the right guy.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Definitely.
I would say the same as well. With grace and confidence, you tell them that I'm still focusing on building a strong foundation in my life so that I'm prepared for marriage, because I don't want to destroy, because marriage is something beautiful and I don't want to destroy it. So they will understand.
And you don't want to fight over going on holidays and staying home.
Exactly. And I tell them that, for me, I told them marriage is very beautiful, but timing is personal. Yeah.
Toko, do we have one more interesting question? I have one here that it's a learning curve for me.
Why do women still settle for less and not prioritize themselves? Yes. Did you get the question?
Yes.
Yes, because the thing is, you are saying we're supposed to now accept what men say. So we're saying we will not do it.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you need to forget yourself. To submit and so on, as we're talking about the submission, doesn't mean that you need to settle for everything that is less. No, we are saying submit as in to bring order in the house and peace. But when it comes to this one, it's different now. You still have to put yourself, fix your career and so on. But that doesn't mean that you're less thinking of yourself.
But it's interesting that when they mentioned settle for less, you looked at the conservatives. I feel like it's the feminists who settle for less. Because one thing about feminists, you guys want, and you want this equality, you want to be like, if you do your research on feminism right now, there's this mentality that you have that, as much as you want to run away from it, but it's there. You are better, or you are the leader more than the guy. So if you guys already consider yourself in the male in the male role, then in the female role, no one is there. You guys are there, right? So it's hard for you to find like men, honestly, if I'm being honest, because if you already see yourself as a man, or you have this mentality, then where does the man fit in? So you guys already be like, okay,
I'm in power.
Yeah.
I'm in control. Then
Yes.
you end up
So then you then
settling for
settle.
less.
No. Then you then take whatever man is available.
because not many of them want a woman who wants to be on top or above or the head.
No, but
they're very scarce.
But how is it settling for less? Because already you are just like knowing what. Because for me, feminism is you knowing what you want in life. It's you focusing on you. Because again, let's just distinguish between somebody who has not healed insecurities and whatsoever, which is most of the time you get it in the conservative side of women. Because at the end of the day, they just settle and they're gonna just say be submissive to anything that comes their. In fact, they are even subjected to everything that comes their way, as to more of submission. But with you as a woman is that you get to choose you. You get. Feminism is about me understanding that my power, my role is that I am a strong individual. And if ever right now, should I want to be with a man, it has to be a man that knows that, you know what, this woman has her own say, and she's a very strong woman. And I'm not gonna now settle, because if me having to settle, meaning that now I've got things that I have not healed from, then I've got insecurities, and I don't have insecurities of myself. But at the end of the day, it's because I know who I am, and I value the idea that I was raised by strong women, and I'm very strong, and I understand that at the end of the day, women fought for me to have like a say, not just to say yes to everything, and to understand that, you know what, my role is very important. As much as we may say that guys' role is important in marriage, even my role is very important. So hence why I will not settle. If you don't know your role as a man,
that prone to you end up even to the point that you feel, okay, I'm in power, I need to do this, I'm independent, I cannot do this. But you come to the point where you end up even being desperate, where you settle for less. That is the reason why Nomti is saying that the feminists, they're the ones that they come to the point where they end up settling for less. Because of that power that you feel that, okay, I'm in control of everything, that end up making you desperate.
Remember now your focus now that you're talking about is the focus of only career. But you have excluded the love life, you have excluded the family. Kids, you know, it's more focus on career.
Yes.
That focus that you're talking about. Hence, we speak about settling for less. It's more in feminist because of now you end up settling for whatever because you focused only on your career.
It's not even about the career side. Because at the end of the day, let's say you're a man, and you've got your own insecurities. I'm not now going to now say that I want to be with you as a man because you've got your own insecurities. But I'm going to be with you because you understand that, okay, fine, this is Gamo, and Gamo is like this, and I'm going to accept her the way she is. Because I understand that, okay, fine, Gamo has her own say. And I'm going to now, I'm going to be with her because I understand the type of a woman that she is. The minute that now you are coming with having to now detect this and that, that's where we pull out. And most of feminists that I know, chances are they will not settle. Not because of now, they will never settle for less. It's either they will now want to be in a relationship, they're in it to win it, or they are not in a relationship at all. But they're not.
You spoke about options. Are you sure that in the side of feminism, you guys have options?
We do.
How so?
And men of today.
It's more focused on career most of the time. You'll see that most of the time you guys lack in other things, like in other areas of your life. It's more focused
that is
mostly
pretty much
in career.
Because you saying we lack, but it's not actually lacking. It's us making the choice not to have less. So if we decide for ourselves, if we have the backbone to actually say, I don't want this. People see it as, no, she doesn't have a husband. But it's us making a choice to say we're not going to settle. And this happens career-wise that we've actually mentioned. But when it comes to kids, nothing is stopping us from adopting. Nothing is stopping us from actually starting a family. There is ways for us to go around everything and get whatever it is that we want. We don't need a man to do it.
But now imagine you have everything. You have everything as a woman. What is the man going to contribute? So in your terms, basically, I feel like you're going to settle for anyone because you have everything.
Yes,
you
have to the point that you're saying you're even going to adoption, but then what happens to that role? You adopt a child, yes, and that child, you find that if both male or female, they do need also that male character to have that impact, because each role plays their own role in each and every child or an individual. They all have different roles to play. So what happens is that if in your case you go and adopt a child, being a feminist and saying, no, I can do everything myself, but you can't do everything. You have certain limitations.
How many of us sitting here right now were actually raised by single women and we turned out fine?
Really?
No,
it's true.
No,
really?
Yes. That's not
okay. Yes. Now I need to step in because it's becoming very interesting. Who was brought up by a single mother?
I was.
Me included. Can you safely say that you lacked nothing?
We
My,
survived. We made it.
true.
You survived, but you lacked some things.
There was something.
You just survived.
You survived.
But
you
it-
lacked a lot.
It wasn't.
Don't you think that maybe you didn't have a father figure, present father figure, taking care of you, make you to be so reluctant to maybe having to consider the impact, the contribution of a father figure, a husband figure in a relationship?
Okay, for me, my grandfather was there, and while I was growing up. And
A man was there.
Yes, he
which
was
is your
there. But I just want to
grandfather.
say this important point, that my grandfather, okay, she only had like girls, and she taught us to be independent, to be feminist. Like he would always say to me that you should never settle.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you had a father figure.
A father figure.
You were
It
not
doesn't
brought
matter
up
even if
by a
it's a
single
grandfather.
mother alone.
My mom was single, my dad was not. in
But
the
your
picture.
grandfather played a big
The
role in your
grandfather
life,
stood up for
being a
you.
man as well.
And he was playing that role of
Exactly, of a father.
Ever wish you could hit rewind on inspiration? That's what Women to Women is all about. It's not just a show, it's a series where women share their real stories, the tough stuff, the victories, and everything in between. Honest conversations that make you think, make you feel, and maybe even make you act. Catch us every Friday at 3 p.m. on Women to Women _TV. Missed an episode? No worries. Catch replays on Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp at Women to Women _TV and on Facebook at Women to Women TV. And tune in on Freedom on Air Radio, available on Play Store or Apple Store. Women to Women, where values are treasured.
How was with you, Impo?
With me, it was very hard and different because my mother had a partner, which is the father of my younger sister. And he played that role of being a father, but it was not enough because there were a lot of things that I used to miss, like especially at school when you hear other kids talking about their fathers and you wish, how was going to be with my father? Because when I hear the story, they divorced, I was 3 months. And okay, he has his life there, but he's not part of my life. Even if he tried to reach to me, it's difficult. It's hard because it's even hard to say father, daddy, or whoever. I just call him by the name because of we have that distance. I don't enjoy or have that presence with him. So it was hard, and which is led me to find myself in the space of like, I don't want to raise my kids this way. Hence, I got married at a very early age. I was 22 when I got married. And still, I had to get to the divorce. But still, that thing of being in a divorce and knew how was it with me not having the father and so on, I tried by all means to protect that marriage, but it never worked. And to the point of, okay, it had to come to that submission again out of the marriage and say, you know what, I have to humble myself and then co-parent with him and make peace with everything for the sake of these 2 kids. Hence, our kids now, they don't have where they stay stable, like as in we're staying with our mother or our father. They stay wherever they want to stay. And we are able to cooperate very well. Even if when you see us today, you can still think of we're still married. Because even including the child that is outside, we made a family in a divorce. So
And you went through that because you thought it was important for your kids to have the father.
Yes, what I didn't have.
Yes.
And it's very important for the mental of the kids. It works a lot because of, you can think of the kids, they're okay with it. They are not. Your experience will tell that they are not at all because of you knew how it was when you were growing. Now, I worked with the submission out of the marriage. And that, hence we were talking about it, that it's more of putting things together, and putting things in peace and so on. But that it works out of marriage. Imagine, out of marriage, I'm still submitting and it works peaceful for me. And including my kids, they are at a peaceful space, to the point of like, in a way of that, whatever that they want, they are not being able, the communication as well is flowing. When our daughter goes somewhere, we speak same time, okay, we agree on it, okay, fine, she will go.
So you said you agree on it, both of you, not saying that he's saying that, okay, fine. Okay, let's say in a position whereby she's going to say, no, the child is not going. So are you going to say that, but yes, and let's say that thing is actually something that is going to benefit maybe your daughter, for example. Are you going to now say that because the man said that, no, your daughter is not going to this varsity, then now they must not go? Because what you're saying, because you spoke about something important, that you said that you agreeing together, which is, that's what we're speaking about. That being feminist does not necessarily mean that we're saying that we have to agree. We are going to agree together.
Disagree.
Yes, we are agreeing to disagree. Not because of every time you have to say this, then I have to say that. Because sometimes even, like, you know, somebody can say that, no, you should not go to church. Then I was like, I'm not going to go now because he's saying that. Do you understand? Because now I'm a firm believer of submission.
I need to step in. Do you guys understand the meaning
of settling for
of submission?
But remember now the statement
now,
of...
I wanted to know, what is submission? What is the definition of submission for each one of you? Because we're going in rounds and going back to submission.
Actually, the question now was settling. We went back to submission.
Yeah, and I feel that there is a misperception about submission. So give me the definition of submission for each one of you. Who wants to start?
I can go first. So we get this over with. For me, submission is having, it's like a structure. So there has to be an authority who has a mission that they're supposed to achieve, and then there has to be people at the bottom who will then submit to help make sure that this mission comes true. So now there has to be people at different levels. There's authority, and then there's people who actually agree to it. That, for me, is submission.
Yes.
Who agrees?
I agree. That is that.
Yes.
Like, it has to be, one is a leader, then the other one are just followers of
subordinates.
Yeah.
Those are subordinates.
Can I understand where you took this definition from?
Pardon?
Because it's not one in authority. It's different roles.
Yes.
So you are all in the corporate world, and you may be the supervisor or the manager or the director, or you may be part of that team. Okay? Who works in a team here?
Caroline.
Yeah. So you understand very well. There is someone who's going to guide.
Yes.
Right? But takes that one out of the occasion. Will the work be done?
No.
No.
if that one is
Now, take one of those who have a different role. So let us say I'm here, okay? And I have a task. And I'm going to give tasks. One will research about this, the other one will do that, do that, do that. Can we achieve the ending result of this task if I am out of the occasion?
No.
Can we achieve it if one of you are out of the occasion?
Still no.
No.
So it's not really authority. It's different roles. You see where there is a misconcept about.
Yes.
So, for instance, my husband, he is not my boss. He's not my boss.
Exactly.
And I think you, by the little you may know me, you can agree that I am very opinionated.
So it makes you a feminist.
But I'm still submissive. Because I understand that according to the role he has in that moment, with a church or with a personal decision, he will make the best decision. That does not mean that I'm not going to explain my views, discuss it over, and come together. Because yes, part of the explanation is right. You have a mission. So you're going to research, the other will draft, the other one will put in the computer, the other will do the calculation, the other one will be timekeeper. If one of us fail, the mission is compromised. And that is submission. And women may be so afraid about submission because they understand authority, and I will say yes to everything.
And most of them, especially...
Do you say yes to everything, Toku?
No.
Okay.
And most of them think that submission is to be a doormat.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that. Submission is just to understand your role. What is your role as a woman? And what is his role as a man? Then when you understand that, there is nothing to fight about. Because I am comfortable with the role I have. Exactly.
You know, having a big name, a small name, once you understand your role and the mission, that is the point. If I want this project to be successful, please don't fail me. Do your research, do your draft, put it in the computer, keep time, see the costs, and present it. Do you understand?
And going
because
back
if
to the
one
question,
of us fail,
Mrs. I had said, because you see that we, as you said, we ran round.
That's why I need to
went
clarify.
back to, but the question was, why do women still settle for less and not prioritize themselves? So that answer, people are looking for that answer out there. So we want an answer now.
It's insecurities.
Okay, it's because of insecurities.
Insecurities.
And then
Them thinking they don't have a voice and they are pressed down in their opinions. Yes.
Carol?
I think it's they're still holding on to their traumatic past that they would have to overcome, or they do not see the value that they have themselves, so they settle for less because they don't think they can have more.
Basically, most of the things that they've covered as well, and sometimes due to society, the society pressure that they feel that no, because of the norms, that I have to settle for this.
Yeah, I think it's more in value, not believing in yourself so much, and the pressure of how things are done lately, which is more into the latest way of social medias and what so on, which is far different from how things were done in old ways. So it's more of value. It's more of value, yes.
Society pressures. I think that one is the top for me, because if people say this, if the majority say this, sometimes most people just follow what the majority say or what they do. So society pressures for me.
How much do you think social media is contributing to that?
A lot.
We got a yes here.
Yeah. And society as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And most of the time in social media, we see what they want us to see. So it's more of, we are excited, we are happy, we have gone on a vacation, but they don't see the whole process before getting to that vacation. You don't know if they were fighting when they were checking into the hotel. So we only get to see what they want us to see. So
You don't even know if they really went on a vacation.
That's true.
Now you brought up a very important point. We were once in a flight coming from Port Elizabeth with my husband, and we met a celebrity couple. They were not talking to each other until we arrived here in Joburg. The other one was literally gave the bag to the husband, and you could see that they were fighting. And when we landed, my husband said, that couple, if they don't fix their things, they will be divorced. I'm telling you, they are divorced by now. I'm not going to say the names for, but they are divorced. The woman lives her own life somewhere else, and the guy lives his own life. Of course, they are still celebrities anyway. Yeah.
Because it's only the fake in front.
Yes.
The reality, it's not there.
Let me ask you something. So we have the conservatives and we have the feminists. How much do you honestly think that social media played a role in your answers and decisions?
Good question.
It did.
Pindili, very quiet. Can you start with you?
Yeah, she's been quiet.
I think it's 50-50, Ms. Masha, because based on what I've saw already, so that's how I was like in more of this side than on the other side. But yeah, I think it has 50-50. It played 50-50 roles.
50-50.
Yes.
Like currently with me, the people that I follow on social media, for example, they are like the ones I always keep up on are conservatives. And there are ideas and, you know, things that they say that, you know, they influence me. They add to my character. They basically guide me sometimes on how I could do things. So I would say it does have.
Depending on the people you are following.
Depending on the people I'm following. Yes, it all depends on that.
So we all agree that somehow we are like sponges to social media.
Yes. Yeah.
Absorbing everything. Yes. So now let me ask you something. That question was on our last roll, and we didn't have time to answer to that. Is it possible for a woman to identify herself as partly feminist, as partly conservative?
I think
yes.
Yes.
You will answer that.
Yes. So, okay, in today's world, right, everyone will look...
So are we crossing sides here?
No.
Because you all said yes?
No, thank you. No, thank you too. Because I honestly I oppose modern feminism. There was traditional feminism, which I know ideally started rightfully. As time went by, it just changed. And it became extreme feminism where things are just pushed down our throats. And that's when the gender roles were switched. Mm-hmm. And that's not the intention of the original intent of feminism. But in today's world, it's extremely toxic. Hence why I wouldn't agree to the modern feminism of today. And we're not going to look at the past because people don't anyways. We look at what's now. Mm-hmm. What's now is what's represented to my eyes, and that's toxic feminism. That's changing gender roles. That's dictating and saying this is how women should be, and we are forgetting the way we were created and the role we were meant to be. Then you find your modern conservativeness, where it doesn't say I have to, as they were saying, like there's a joke, sexual for less, or there's a joke they would say, you agree, yebo baba, all the time, or you don't really necessarily have to do that. Or when your husband enters the house, you tie his shoe or you remove his shoe. I think people think conservativeness is about that, and it's not that.
And you know it well because you are both with your mom and dad in the house, and your mother doesn't do that.
No, not at all.
It's about balance.
Balance, definitely.
Balance, yeah.
Working woman and a housewife at the same time.
Yes.
And you decide. Someone wants to go to that side?
Still not?
Wow. I think with the definition that we had of submission and the example of everybody has to play their role, I wouldn't come to your side. But there are certain compromises that one would have to make. Mm-hmm. So there has to be some sort of, okay, I'm not going to get what I want this time, but it's going to be for the happiness or the benefit of the marriage. So I think compromise, not conservative.
That is submission.
Submission.
Finally.
Compromise is submission now.
So it means you can be half conservative, half feminist.
Yeah, it can be half-half. Balance.
75-25.
Feminism, it means to have equal rights to men.
Yes.
We're not diminishing men.
Yes.
But lately it has been
like that
to be superior.
Yes.
But that is the toxic side of it. What about the positive side of it? Because if we want to change and say that we're looking at the negative side of it, then now we are just now crushing the idea of why before did they have feminism? Why was feminism there?
We had here 11 questions, and Toko?
11 as well.
So that makes 22. And I think we went about only 4 of them, right? Or 5. And now, to conclude today's debate, and I'm afraid we will have to do round 3 of that, we spoke about the conservatives and we spoke about the feminists, right? And you all defended your position. How do you integrate either or in the definition of a woman of God?
For feminism, I feel that it's difficult for them as a woman of God to obey and be that woman of God, you know. But with the conservations, it's becoming easier because of it's a normal thing to them to humble and to be always submissive, and you know, always they want to compromise and see how things can be done in a peaceful way. So,
but you went for a divorce. We don't know the merits of it.
Yes.
Should you not be stuck in that marriage, being a woman of God?
Not really. No. It depends on what led the divorce or whatever that happened into the marriage.
So you would say that it's not really a conservative, because maybe the conservative would have been stuck in that marriage. And it's, of course, not a feminist because it would be all the way out. You would find a balance in between as a woman of God.
Yes, and I'm still sticking with this side of conservative because of in that divorce, it didn't lead it to an aggressive one and the fighting a divorce.
Bitterness.
Yes. There was a lot of trying to get to know and understand and find a way of divorcing in peaceful way, as if we're still together in that the marriage, because of what I'll say is there was a lot of sacrifices that led it to more of submissive into it. Yes.
From this side, how do you get one and put in the profile of a woman of God?
I think it reminds me of a video that came out a long time ago of Ezekiel that they did, that there is time for everything. There's time for you to be the person that pushes your partner or fights for what is right to make sure things get done. But then there's also for you to just be that orange light that says, okay, yes, this is what I think, but I'm going to take a step back and let you decide on it. And then there's also a time where it's like, no, it's not happening, forget it, we are not going there. So there is always time for everything. And yes, there is time for us as women also to be very laid back, to take a step back, to let the men lead. Because, I mean, that's what we want from men after all. We want security. We want them to provide. Even if I can buy my own bouquet of flowers and do my own hair, I still want you to pay for it.
Welcome. Wait. I need to understand this.
Women of God.
Women of God.
Women of God.
Yes.
Still.
Conservative.
You can buy your own house.
But you still want...
And you can adopt your own child.
Yeah.
But it does not mean you have a family.
Yes, it does. I have a family if I adopt a child.
What is family then if you have a child?
You adopt a child. It is loving people coming together and becoming one.
Yeah. But there's still that gap that is left again.
It's not a gap, it is a choice.
Figure, are you going to raise that child alone?
Yes.
Okay, you see, there's a gap again. There's something that you are putting in again into that child that it's going to cause some...
We were defining a woman of God.
Defining a woman of God.
Yes.
Woman of
We were
God.
defining
Who else
a
wants
woman
to? Go and Nomti.
Okay.
You want to step in?
Yes, since the feminist...
How do you see this woman of God? As a conservative or as a feminist?
Conservative means submission, right? I think...
No. It means sometimes tradition.
Yes, tradition. In my way of viewpoint, if I'm in the conservative point, it's easier for me to submit. And if God will tell me do this, or someone with authority from God would tell me to do this, it's easier for me to be humble and to submit.
But on the point of view of everything that is happening on the world. So let us talk about some of the hashtags out there. My body, my rules, feeling in my own skin, man is trash. Do you see a woman of God more conservative, more feminist?
More conservative.
With those hashtags.
I would say more conservatives because you would.
I don't want to spice, but I will. Those hashtags come from feminists.
Yes,
okay?
it does.
I think it's more of both.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I think that comes from a place that is bitter. When they start putting tags on men, it's because the person is bitter. Because remember, we give what we have inside of us. If I give bitterness on social media, it's what is inside of me. So that bitterness stemmed from somewhere. Maybe the person was disappointed by 2-3 men. So in their mind, they're like, every man is trash. Then they do the hashtag, every man is trash. And forgetting that our men are not trash, by the way.
By the way. So, I think, Tuco, I need to go to God's point in this. And I will have to answer for them. What's the position of the woman of God? Are we ready for that? Yes. So when I was thinking about which Bible verse to use today, it came clear that we all have our differences. We have different perspectives. And to be a woman of God, honestly speaking, it's a bit of both sides, because a woman of balance needs to be balanced. The Holy Spirit brings balance to us. So when I think about someone who's conservative, is someone who praises family values, respect, structure. It's someone who will have discipline, but is not a woman who will be a doormat without opinion, without expression, without knowing her value, her contribution. Because for me, a woman of God needs to contribute. So we need to have value to contribute. I don't see myself as a doormat. And I have had endless disagreements, not quarrels, points of view that I disagree with my husband. And we had to sit down and speak. And sometimes he said I was right. Other times I had to say he was right. So that comes from a relationship with God of not disputing. From the moment that we embrace a profile, I am this or I am that, I'm forgetting to allow how God wants to shape me to be. So looking for a Bible verse, I found this one. Render therefore to all their due taxes, to whom taxes are due, customs to whom customs, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. And that comes from balance. So when I have to render respect to someone who is deserving respect, and I do it, I am acting as a woman of God. But when I sit in my position and I say, I'm not going to do that because no one will step over me, I am not allowing God to mold me to be whom He wants me to be. By the way, this is in the book of Romans. And the most important thing here is honor to whom honor. So when I think about we have different opinions, different circumstances, different environments, different experiences in life. So much so that I asked, who was brought up by a single mother? I was one. So I had that experience. I cannot just look down at Toko and look at her and say, you don't know how it was because you had both parents. Because maybe she had both parents and they were not in agreement, so her life was more difficult than mine. So to pay honor to those who deserve honor, to pay fear to those, fear from respect, to those who deserve respect, it means I'm not sitting in my position saying, this is who I am. And you have to accept it, to swallow it, agree or not agree, this is who I am. Is to look for whom God wants us to be. That is the position of a woman of God. Because sometimes I will have to put aside my prejudice for the sake of others. Sometimes I'll have to stand my ground so that the truth of God will be revealed. Toko, what it all means for today, if you find the thread that was lost in between.
For me, I think it's about values, what your values are. It's very important first to start from there. And we have to understand that feminism is not about fighting for the position or battling for who is going to be in control. It's about building each other, partner and partner, building each other, knowing that we are going for one goal. That's what we have to understand, because what happens is that some women nowadays, they battle for position, who's in control. But a woman of God doesn't have this, because a woman of God has balance. You mentioned balance. So feminism is about having balance, knowing that even if we disagree with my husband, the disagreements are very healthy. It's not about, I want his position as a man or he wants my position. No, it's about building him. I disagree with him. He's about to take a wrong decision because I want to help him, because I love him. God disciplines those he loves. So I love my partner and I'm going to disagree with him and make him understand why I'm disagreeing. Because sometimes when there is this disagreement in relationship, you are trying to send a message to your husband or to your partner, but the way you are saying it, he doesn't understand it because the way it's coming out from you. When you find a way of talking and showing to him that I'm actually trying to help you, you will see that he will understand. I have disagreements with my husband. Sometimes he agrees with me, sometimes he doesn't even agree with me. And at the end of the day, because I didn't fight to be right, because the problem we always want, I want to be right. My word must be the last one. And when I just keep quiet, it doesn't mean that I agreed with everything. I just chose to be quiet. And later on, you see, he comes like, babes, you know that you were right. I'm sorry. And I didn't even ask him to apologize. It's because of the way I dealt with the situation.
Yes.
So that is the problem. Women today, they divorce for small things. When you look at
By the way, there is a
problem,
stats here, Toko.
Yes, I saw it.
More women initiate divorce late.
Because the problem is that when you look, you sit down, you are like, you know, you are not supposed to divorce. This is not a problem. There are many people who have serious problems than this. You could have resolved it if one of you had chosen to be humble. To be humble doesn't hurt anyone. It didn't hurt Abraham. It didn't hurt any man of God in the Bible or any woman of God in the Bible. Instead, it contributed. And men like people who are like that, not to be a doormat. My husband knows I'm not aggressive. I don't have a stubborn nature, but I'm very stern. I am very stern. I'm raised in an army house. I'm not rude, but I'm stern in my words. And he knows that. He cannot make me a doormat, but also I don't disrespect him just because I want to compete for power. That's not good, because I know my role and I am so happy to be chosen for this role. It makes me happy. You know, it's an honor, actually. It's an honor to be chosen to be in this role, like me taking care of this man of God that God has chosen for me. Who am I? I didn't have the qualifications for that. And because I was so humble and accepted it, and God said, I'm going to equip you, my daughter. Don't worry. So if you are like that, God equips you. You don't know anything, you're about to get married, God will help you because he knows that you will contribute in this man's life.
And he doesn't equip you to be a doormat.
Yes.
He gives you opinion. He gives you his spirit.
And wisdom.
He gives you his wisdom.
Yes.
not for us to say yes to everything.
Exactly.
No?
Exactly.
On that we agreed.
Yes.
Bonus.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pray for the women out there who are finding their path. Maybe they started the beginning of this program saying, I'm on the right side, I'm on the left side, and now they are, where am I? So let us pray that we all go on God's side. Our Lord and our Father, thank you very much, my Father, to bring wisdom and understanding to doubts that we all may have, especially those out there who have been bombarded by the ideologies of social media or have experienced in their own skin the injustices of life, coming from a broken family, being abandoned, having suffered any kind of abuse or disrespect, and now they have closed themselves to the possibility that they can be happy, that we don't need to take extremes. As a matter of fact, with you, we need to be in the middle, to find balance. And my Father, more than how do I tackle one issue or the other, my concern and my prayer for the women out there is that they see how you want us to tackle it. What is your view? What is your guidance? Should I be quiet? Should I speak right now? Should I go for it? Should I not? And trusting on your guidance, honoring you, who is the one to be honored, fearing you, who's the one to be feared, considering each other as more important than ourselves, we will find the profile of a woman according to your heart. This is what matters, my Lord, that all of them who are out there trying to build a life, trying to be happy, may find the perfect place according to your will and for your glory, my Lord. So I thank you for being able to discuss some points, some sensitive matters, to come to the conclusion that in all, what matters truly is the happiness that may come from you. So I bless the women out there, those who had different opinions, those who now are divided still in their own opinions, and those who they don't know how to apply in their lives. Your guidance be upon them. This is my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Ladies, thank you very much. Another heated debate. They are all single, but they are promising to find their role as women of God. Conservatives, feminists, according to God's will. And they are looking for a man of God. I have to lobby for you, isn't that? Thank you very much. God bless you all. And let us think about that.
Yeah.
To be the women that God wants us to be. Mm-hmm. Until next week, not with another debate. It will take some time. You can leave your comments. You can leave your questions, because who knows, in future, we will have a third round in a different format. Yeah. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
The first step to healing is simply reaching out. If you or someone you know needs support, email woman-to-woman@uckg.org.za or call 0800 330 320. Our toll-free helpline offers confidential, non-judgmental support.